Yo, this is WSoul13 bringing you Raid Shadow Legends. And today, oh man, tears in the chat today, bro. They just nerfed Geomancer. Shadow nerf. They didn't announce it. They just did it. And it has led to some pretty insane things. You know, so this is my damage for Ultra Nightmare, 1 billion for Nightmare, and then I think 500 million on Brutal. So let's see if they hotfixed it already, and then let's talk about exactly what they did to our boy. So they did a patch 4.7 champion rebalance, and the only one that got nerfed was an epic Eurogrim. Unfortunate, because oh, it looks like they hotfixed it already. I don't see the massive damage anymore from Geomancer. All right, well, you know, that's fair. Fair enough, fair enough. I guess we're not doing 1 billion damage every single time. My god, man. This is so crazy, yo. Anyways, what do you think about Plarium nerfing the best epics in the game? And are they gonna be doing that from here on, you know? Tough to say, really tough to say. So remember I was telling you guys in the Sigmund fusion, Demytha is the prize here, you know. Yeah, I still abide by that. I just saw Deadwood Jedi's first Demytha unkillable team. It was dope. It was dope. Had a farmable rare in it. It had, you need Seeker and Deacon, which are kind of like chase epics at this point, but still pretty good, you know. But other than that, what are we getting? You know, what are we getting from this game now? You know, I think it's not that bad. It sucks. I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. I'm not gonna say, oh well, you know, suck it up. It's part of the game. They'll rebalance. You know, everybody that spent money on Geomancer, they held him up as a guaranteed champ. You know, to me, I wish there was just better communication, but whatever. To me, I always knew that it was a bug. You know, like the way Brogni's, I think, is probably a bug. Geomancer's is probably a bug, you know. I mean, I know they should have kind of just said that part out loud, that hey, this is a bug, don't do it, you know. But whatever. We kind of knew it was a bug when it was first discovered. We're like, what the hell is this? Why is Giant Slayer proccing on this passive, you know? And it just so happened that Brogni did it, Geomancer did it, and we had a comp where both of them could be in it, and they kind of synergistically did the things he wanted them to do. Like Geomancer took the buff away from the Affinity Clan boss, then Brogni would just keep everybody alive, put up the block debuff, then you can add a buff extension like I'm doing right now, you know. And voila, right? It was like, it was such a good time, and so many different comps were thought up afterwards or whatever around Geomancer, and now that's gone. So is there kind of like any precedence for this? You know, you say they tried to nerf Madame Ceres, didn't really work. I'm trying to think about the last time they actually hard nerfed something. Maybe like Unkillable, when they limited Unkillable to 50 turns, and this was before Unkillable was so much more accessible than it is now. Like now it's like ubiquitous. Almost everybody has Unkillable now. There's so many ways to do it, you know. It's not just Man-Eater anymore, although the other versions are really hard to pull off. I think this Demytha one is pretty spot on if you have Seeker and Deacon already, right? So we'll see if they offer them up as guaranteed champs. That might be a good time to scoop them up. There'll be other comps that they'll come up with. There'll be like a Demytha Man-Eater comp, just straight up Unkillable probably there, and you won't have to worry about having 2 Man-Eaters. You know, so that could be an option for me actually, because I only have 1 Man-Eater, so it might be time to hang up my budget Unkillable team. Although, you know, it's been fun to run it, but yeah, I haven't really gotten it to work outside of Magic Affinity. I didn't really work out the stun targeting. It was just a little bit too much work for me. So yeah, so what now? What are we doing now, boys? To me, I think you stay steady on the plan and you get Demytha. You know, I mean, you can get Sigmund too. I mean, there's no knock on people that get Sigmund. Sigmund's pretty good. And I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say it right now. Sigmund might actually end up being the safer choice in the long run, because, you know, it feels like they're trying to tone down kind of what's seen as quote unquote unfair in the game. So check this out. It used to be counterattack was seen to be not unfair, but just so much more powerful than everything else before. Now we have so much way to deal damage. We have ally attack. We have just straight up champs that deal a lot of damage. And for a while we had Geomancer, you know. So there's like a lot of rivals to counterattack now. I mean, not every team wants counterattack in it anymore, not like before. So before, like, counterattack was ubiquitous. It was just so good everywhere. But now it's like, it just makes runs longer. That's all it does now, right? But it's still really, really good. Counterattack is not less powerful now. You know, it's just not as powerful in terms of the separation from the other things. Like, it's still really, really strong on its own. So what do you do? What do you do with this info? Well, you stick to basics, is what I'm trying to say. And it's what I've always been trying to tell people, like, how to run their raid accounts. You just stick to basics. Stick to what's powerful, and then you can build from there. So if you've been running Geomancer this whole time, or Geomancer in some of your teams this whole time, well, enjoy. You had a good run. Now it's time to say goodbye. I'm not sure exactly if any of the changes are going to be permanent or whatever. If the backlash is going to be big enough that Plarium reverses it or whatever, I don't think so. Honestly, I don't feel like they're going to reverse it. And honestly, it's fine. Just going to have to move on. And I think a lot has to be said too with kind of just understanding clan boss mechanics anyway, beyond just Unkillable. You know, just kind of like building straight up clan boss teams. That might be making a comeback at some point, especially if they take Unkillable away. I doubt they will. I seriously doubt they'll take Unkillable away, because they already had a chance, and what they did was they just capped it out to 50 turns, you know. So, which is fine. Unkillable is really strong, but it's not the most important comp in the game, I think, to me. A lot of people are going to disagree with that, I'm sure, because everybody is gunning for Unkillable comp. And every time there's Unkillable on, like right now, Demytha's available for Unkillable comp, people like me are telling you, hey, go for Unkillable comp immediately, right? Yes, of course it's strong, of course it's powerful, but, you know, speaking from personal experience, I didn't have Unkillable comp when I got Arbiter. I didn't have that when I got Arbiter, you know? I just did it the old-fashioned way, which is just built the old school clan boss team, and I just farmed Nightmare clan boss until I finally had an Unkillable comp, and I could take some Ultra Nightmare chests, and then eventually I built the Geomancer team, so I could take Ultra Nightmare chests on the daily, you know. Well, let's talk about the cost now of this nerf, right? So beyond the chickens and the books or whatever you put in your Geomancer, it sucks. And the silver, obviously, right? I think one of the main things, really, is that if you've been relying on Geomancer to get those Ultra Nightmare chests, it's going to hurt you a lot. Really no way around that. Ultra Nightmare just gives way much better rewards than the Nightmare ever did, you know. And it's unfortunate. We're gonna cut this one short because I don't want to keep looking at my clan boss team over and over again. So we're just gonna go straight to Geomancer now. Oh. There we go. And let's roll to Geomancer and just see if they changed the wording on his skill already. All right, here we go. Decrease damage, all allies receive 15%, deflect that damage back onto each enemy. Alright, that part hasn't changed. If the enemy is under HP burn. So it's still all allies, that part hasn't changed. When deflecting damage, there we go. 60% chance of dealing additional damage equal to 4% of the target's max HP. Alright. Can occur once per enemy attack. So no more double slam, activated twice. It looks like, am I reading this right? All the allies receive. So it looks like it's still a team-wide reflect. You know, 4% of target's max HP. I'm pretty sure that won't work against bosses, right? Multiple champions skill will only activate once. Only one will activate. Yeah. So that's standard for every skill like this. You know, it's not great. Honestly, if you can't get Giant Slayer proc on this, it's not great. It is what it is, right? So it's kind of sad. At the same time, you know, it's time to move on. It's time to build a new kind of like Demytha based teams now. We'll see what happens. So, as you know, my accounts is pretty progressed already. There's really not much. Here, check that out. Look at that. Remember we zeroed out Ancient Shards last Friday, was it? What is it, Tuesday? Or are you double digits, you know? So, that has a lot to do with Ultra Nightmare Clan Boss chest, right? I mean, everybody knows that. So, I'm going to be working on a Demytha theme. Yeah, I'm going to be spending all the silver, try to re-gear my champs, try to get a Demytha unkillable team going, probably with Maneater. And then we'll see what kind of comps people come up with, and I'll put my own spin on it, you know. And I'll see you guys next time. If you're one of the people that got shafted with the Geomancer Nerf, it's not the end of the world, guys. Demytha's available right now. That could be your new out for Clan Boss. I suggest you go for it hard. Hopefully you went after it. You went after the fragments in Champ Chase. It's gonna be really tough without those fragments. It's still possible. You're gonna have to win Fire Knight, but you know, it's gonna be really tough without those fragments, bro. So yeah. I'll see you all next time. We'll do another update when something happens, or if when we do the summons for this weekend, we'll see what they're offering this weekend. See you guys next time.